Do you think Walt would come on the pod if we let him talk about his animal shelters?
Welcome to another edition of the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast. It is year 19 of the League of Ordinary Gentlemen and year 8 of the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast, Rob. Year 8.
Dude, imagine us 8 and 19 years ago. Good Lord.
You were in Iraq, I think, the first year. Am I right? That was the Johnson year?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
I'm pretty sure
those Johnsons were great.
Yeah, I think we drafted in my parents' garage, and Nicole was like your proxy, and it was I mean, what's the time difference there? It was the middle of the night for you, and it was the afternoon for us, I think.
Yeah, but fortunately for me, like, we slept during the daytime because all of our like missions and everything were at night. So like for me, that was the normal operating schedule.
Yeah, and speaking of the normal operating schedule, you're hearing it. This is going to be the normal operating schedule. This podcast is going to be going every Wednesday, and we're locked into doing every Wednesday now because, with this Guillotine League and the new twists we're going to be putting in, we need to do it every week. We can't not do it every week.
Well, I'm sure that'll work out real great for us about halfway through the year when we find a reason to not be able to do it. Multiple times.
We did an episode every week last year.
Okay. That's the first time in all 8 years of the podcast?
The entirety. Yeah, the entirety of this podcast. That is the most we've ever done it.
So we have something in common with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, we've only played one full season. The theme of the first episode of every season is when we go away, all of the apps we use change. I have the Audacity app is changed, the Google Meet app is changed, and there's an update to the Sounddrop app. And since things didn't look the same, I was about to find something on here, and as I looked at it, I was like, wait, it doesn't look the same.
So we're already in mid-season form. We don't know what the fuck we're doing, and it's going to be another year of stumbling through pods. You guys are probably thinking to yourself, they hashed all this stuff out over the summer. They're going to come in with this cool, sleek, professional new look. Nope. You're going to get the same garbage you guys have been getting, and that's all we can really promise you.
I found that if you have a goal, that you might not reach it. But if you don't have one, then you are never disappointed. And I got to tell you, it feels phenomenal.
And that's what our theme for this year is going to be.
Never having new drops. Ever. Kyle picked his drops 8 years ago, and that's what we have.
That's all we got. We talk about having new drops last year. Like we had ideas. I don't know what happened to them, but we ideas.
Talked about it. I say just bring back the old ones that make no sense, like the carry-on Johnson ones, and just why not? Who cares?
Yeah, that's around somewhere.
If we dig deep enough, because God forbid we removed anything or added or anything at all.
All right.
We go through the same. I wish you guys could have seen the operational shit show when we started out. It's the same
thing.
Shit every time. Can you hear the drops? No. Fuck. Why is that? I don't remember what I fixed. It's like every fucking year. Like, dude, write it down. I don't know.
Well,
it's the same with me. Like an hour before this pod started, here I am looking for my tablet. Of course, it's like lost or dead or something. And I'm on a different platform on a different computer trying to figure my shit out. It's like we just never get better.
It is what it is at this point. So here's what we're gonna do. You can make a choice here, Rob. Do you want to go into the thing everyone's waiting for, or should we just bore them to death with the beginning of the year stuff and then save the good stuff for the end?
I like that. I like the latter. Let's drag them out, get them to stick around for the whole show, because we're selfish like that.
Okay, so year 19 of the League of Ordinary Gentlemen, and we have. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing actually.
Mid-season form,
Yeah,
boys.
mid-season
Mid-season
form. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Why do I just have the awards? Where is the?
Do I need to go get more whiskey while you think this out?
No, Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm assuming it's still $120 for the entry fee, and I think it's $10 for the auctioneer. Carrie's gonna be the auctioneer again this year. Draft is gonna be 1:00
Well,
at good times, just like always. Nothing's changing. Ah, here it is. Yep, $120 plus 10 to the auctioneer. First place $500, second place $300, third place $150. Winner of the division champs match $120. High points $250. High points is going to be just the regular season this year, and then playoff high points as well. And we discussed changing some of the points scoring, for the point per first down and the PPR and all that kind of stuff. And nothing ended up happening there. Okay, so here's kind of a controversial thing. A 6-1 vote. We have $100 waiver budget with a minimum $1 pickup. So once you're out of money, you're out of money. Rob, how do you feel about that?
pissed that of all the pre-parties and post-parties that I skip, something that stupid gets passed unanimously. Like Guillotine, I understand why. Like I get the wrinkle and why it makes sense. You can't just build a super team for no money, as people just end up, when there's down to like 3 or 4 teams left, everyone's going to be able to scoop up whoever they want and just rotate them like crazy. If you don't have that, $1 minimum, but in just standard league play, like, I don't know, streaming defenses or filling in dumb shit positions, like I think it's, I don't know, I hate it. I'm told the one nay vote was from you. Thank God there's one person in this league with some decency. But yeah, I think the allure of it, particularly from the guys that played in Guillotine, they got sucked in and didn't really think it through before voting yes to that. But whatever, I'll adjust my waiver strategies to fit accordingly. But I got to say on record, I hate it.
Yeah, that decision was made 8 months ago, and I don't recall the main basis behind it, but I think it was somewhere along the lines of people just aren't using their waiver budget anymore, and they just really don't care. And people are, there's not enough strategy. So I think that was the reason for why we did that. And,
what was there to use it on last year? Like there wasn't like those heavy hitter major pickup.
But I mean, I think that's the point.
It was Chuck. So what? So the minimum bid being $1. What does that change? If I finished the year with $30 in my budget because there was just nobody to pick up, I don't know. Like I don't think it moved the needle in any relevant way to that argument.
Yeah, I'm not sure. As I said, it was just, it is what it is. The other thing that was changed was, of course, the season high points is just the regular season. And if there are 2 teams that tie for high points, it's 1 tie, all tie. The money goes to a bar tab, which I think is a fun twist. What are the chances it's ever going to happen?
It happens. They're extremely low.
I mean, what do you think the odds are on that?
I'd say probably 1 in 100,000.
That would be a solid guess.
Yeah. Thank you, Google, for that information.
So it's year 19 of the League of Ordinary Gentlemen. That means next year is year 20. Now, I'm throwing this out there right now. We're going to blow it out for year 20. Set your calendars. Let's find out when. Let's go to August of 27. It looks like Sunday, the 29th of August. Labor Day should be on a 6th. So Sunday, the 29th, will be draft day. And we're going to, I think we're going to, for the 20-year anniversary, my thoughts is we propose league buy-in is doubled for the 20-year anniversary, and the double half goes towards blowing it out for the draft
in Punta Cana.
I don't know if we could do that.
All right, fine.
I mean, it would cost more than $120 a person to go to Punta Cana.
Hey, a girl can dream.
But I say, I would think for the weekend, what that ends up being 1,200 plus another 12, 1440. I think another 1440. I think 1440 could get us something for that. Either we get a place and we cater in food or something, or I don't know. We figure something out.
Yeah, I find a lot of the leagues that I find myself a little jealous of when they talk about when they all get together and draft it. It's something to that nature, right? They all chip in and they get together at some B&B or some cabin and they all throw in a bunch of money and it becomes this big rager. And the draft is just like part of the whole experience, right? We're all friends in this league. That's the whole point.
Yep.
Like this has been going for, 19 years. And we looked back at the first year and Christ, 8 of the 10 from that year are in this league right now. So
yeah, so that's
it's safe to say we're all friends.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty wild that 8 out of 10, for the retention. So there's only 4 different people in the league. I mean, we went through a variety of people in those 4 positions.
Right.
But 4 different people in this league that weren't in from the start 19 years ago, so we're going to hit 20 years next year. So I think we should blow it out. We should do something fun for that. Keep that in mind. That's going to be the plan. We're going to put something together, and I'm also going to put it out there. I am looking to step down as a commissioner after that season. We can either decide as a group if we just want to call our quits at 20, or if we want to keep going, but somebody else I think is going to need to step up. We'll still do the podcast because, we'll be doing the Guillotine League. But
yeah, hopefully
I'm just not going to do.
That's not us, so we can talk shit about it.
Right? I want to make fun of that person for years to come.
Yeah. Well, if I was commissioner, I'd have done it this way.
Well, back when we were doing it, it made way more sense.
Yeah, we took some of this stuff more seriously. We should. Yes. Oh my God.
Exactly.
This is gonna be great.
So, just for fun, we went through the league winners over the years, and how many total league winners do you think we had?
9.
11 total league winners in 19 years. No, actually 18, because this is year 19. So 11 out of 19, not bad. Ryan has the most victories with the inaugural season starting in 2008, 2012, and 2016. Kral's tied with him with 3, 2009, 17, and 24. Then there's 3 two-time winners, Zach, 11 and 15. And then we had the bleakest period of, the bleakest period of this league was between.
You can call it like the dark ages. Like
it
the
literally
middle
was.
ages of the league.
Between 2018 and 2021, where we had a stretch where Ed won 2 in a row and then Travis won 2 in a row.
God.
For which, by the way, 8 out of 10 from the first year. That was 4 years straight of people who are no longer in the league.
Of zero skill being required to win in fantasy football.
And then, so those are the other two-time winners. And then one-time winners, Steve, Justin, myself, Rathgaber, Luke, and Jason. The last 3 years were all first-time winners.
Good stuff. I'll never know.
You're right.
Unless you know.
I was going to give you an applause, but I couldn't find it.
Nah, I don't even deserve it.
All right. Well, I think it's time. This is going to be a short podcast, but who gives a shit, right? It's the first one. Unless
it's ours.
Unless you had
fire us.
Do you have hard hitting analysis about coming into these drafts? By the way, I am going into this draft on Sunday doing no research. I'm going to pull a Kyle Krall. I'm going to go to the book stand, the magazine stand. I'm going to buy the fantasy magazine from July that has dust on it. I'm just going to dust this fucker off, and I'm just going to draft.
He listens to his podcasts. Don't you fucking lie. There's not a chance you didn't listen to Simmons and the fantasy football guys. You're on it. If you listen to 2 episodes, you're all caught up. Who's hurt? Good to go. Who do they love? Good. Pick everybody else. You're good to go.
Right. Luther Burden, he's the hot guy this year. He
Yeah,
won't.
everyone
He
loves
won't
Luther
be.
Burden.
He won't
Avoid
be on
Luther
my
Burden
team.
like the plague.
He won't be on my team. Someone's gonna overspend.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend all my money on Kyle Pitts. So
You know that's another guy who's been getting some some talk. But well, let's go to the thing that we've all been waiting for. It is the third season of the Guillotine League, and we have breaking news. The breaking news is, starting this year, we are going to add a twist every year to the Guillotine League.
I like it. Like a game of Twister, we'll be contorted in so many weird directions by the time it's over, we won't even know what we're playing for.
Here's how it works. Now, a couple months back, I was watching my favorite reality show of all time, the MTV Challenge. And when I was watching the challenge, I thought to myself, why couldn't we implement the challenge themes as the Guillotine League? The challenges are literally, Survivor, Big Brother, the challenge. They are all basically just a Guillotine League, right? Someone gets eliminated every week, and each season has their own twists on how these people get eliminated. Why can't we eliminate teams from our Guillotine League in the same fashion?
I like it.
So I come to you this year with two twists, two options for twists. And these twist options are based off of challenge themes, challenge season themes. And we're going to start you off with two options that are pretty straightforward, but as we get used to these twists, things are going to get increasingly more interesting as the years go by. All right? And we're going to make it more fun. We're going to do maybe like a free agents theme where you actually have to team up with other teams to be groups. And the group that has the highest score for the week is safe, and the groups that have the lowest score could be up for elimination. We could have situations where people are voting for people to go into elimination. There's that kind of stuff. All right. So here are the two options. Option number one, we're going to call this Guillotine League Redemption Island.
Ooh, I like the little scruff in your voice there. It was kind of sexy.
Redemption Island.
You should just do the whole pod like that. Describe this whole twist just like that.
Okay. The Guillotine League Redemption Island. How this is going to work. This is a play on the MTV Challenge X's 2. In X's 2, the eliminated...
All right, stop. I can't focus.
Okay. All right, fine. In the MTV Challenge X's, Battle of the X's 2, they had... the losing team from the challenge, the losing team from the elimination that week went in to Redemption, which was a separate house, and each week another team would lose, and that team would go into Redemption as well, and that team would have to face off against the team that's in the Redemption house. So this is how Redemption Island works, okay? Week 1 is a purge. Now, this is another term from the challenge that you've got to be aware of, okay? Because every once in a while...
I thought we were all going to fight to the death there for a minute.
So every once in a while, TJ just calls a purge week, okay? The first season theme, there's going to be no twists. There's going to be no on-the-fly twists. It's just going to be the way it is. But we're going to use, in future seasons, we're going to use like a random, spinning wheel generator thing to decide what the twists might be each week. But first week is a purge. Bottom team, you're out. All right? Because we got to eliminate a team every week. But we also need to get 2 teams to Redemption Island. So we got to do a purge, eliminate the bottom team. The next 2 teams that week go straight to Redemption Island. In week 2, those 2 teams in Redemption Island battle to stay alive. The losing team is eliminated. And then the lowest score from week 2 in the main challenge goes over to Redemption Island for week 3. Now, here's the next twist. All right. We can do it one of two ways. The first way is Redemption Island just keeps rolling until, hold on, Redemption Island keeps rolling until week 15, and then that team gets brought back in when there's 3 teams left. That's option number 1, okay? Option number 2 is at week 5, we introduce cards, okay? So for the first 5 weeks, Redemption Island, you're just playing. Once we get to week 6, the winning team in Redemption Island come on the podcast, and they get the cards laid in front of them. And they pick which card they want to pick. And if they draw the ace, they're automatically back in, and Redemption Island is over. If they don't pick the ace, they have to stay in Redemption for another week. The winning team the next week gets to pick from 9 cards. And then you keep picking from 1 less card every week until that ace is picked. So then you never know when the team is going to come back from Redemption Island, and it's all on the winning team to try to pick the right card.
I feel like I like the latter because if I lose week 1, or whatever, take second or third week 1, in that system, I could be in Redemption Island till week 15.
Absolutely. And
with no way out. Like I would just be in head-to-head matchups for the remainder of the season.
Absolutely. Sudden death every week.
That's insanity. Let's go with the second option just for the sake of the chance of getting out. I feel horrible for whoever passes in the bottom 2, or sorry, bottom whatever, second and third last in week 1, because that's just going to go for an eternity.
All right. So
for 1 second, I'm going to yell at my kids real quick.
All right. So there you have it. That's Redemption Island. Just to go over the rules again.
You have to yell. I'm trying to putt. I went up here.
I was going to mute him, but it doesn't pay.
Did that not mute?
No, it didn't mute at all. Okay. Redemption Island, the theme for that one, just to go over it, week 1 is a purge. Lowest teams eliminated, bottom 2 go into Redemption Island. They fight it out in sudden death. Week 2, the lowest team on the main challenge in week 2 drops into Redemption Island to play in week 3. That keeps going until week 6 happens, and then on week 6, the winner of that week gets to pick a card. That if they pick the ace, they automatically leave Redemption Island and go back into the challenge. And by the way, we could do the thing where Redemption Island continues the entire time, but picking the card just gets you to swap with a team. That could also be the other twist.
And the number on the card would be the team that placed in that position that week, or what would determine the team that goes in?
I kind of like that idea. You have
the amount of cards is the teams left on the board.
The amount of cards is the teams left on the board. If you pick the ace, would you draw again? You'd have to draw again because you're picking the ace.
Right.
If you pick the ace, then
you pick who replaces you next.
You pick who. Can you just pick who replaces you? You can pick anyone but the guy who won that week.
Yeah, because the guy who won has to have some immunity, right? That's
Correct.
The whole challenge
the whole
thing.
point.
Is you have to be safe if you're at the top.
Okay, I like that better. So we're just gonna have Redemption Island can start from day 1 and picking the cards happen from day 1. Except if you pick the ace, you're back in, and you get to pick anyone in the field aside from the guy who won.
Wouldn't somebody still need to lose the first week so we get rid of a team?
Someone still needs to lose the first week.
Okay.
So then the next 2 teams would go into Redemption Island. That's how we're going to do it.
Okay.
Perfect. And the amount of cards are the amount of teams that are left. So as you get to the end, when you're down to 4 cards, it's a 1 in 4 chance you pick it.
Right.
So, there's a good chance that people could be putting each other in and out. And this is the whole breeding rivalries thing. This is the whole, tension, rivalries, that's the whole point of this.
How pissed would you be if you fought your way out of Redemption Island after 7 weeks just to end up right back in there the next one? Every time I thought I was out. He pulled me back in.
You got to make sure you don't piss the wrong person off, right? Okay, so that's Redemption
Oh,
Island.
great. That's gonna work out great for us.
Right? Okay, so that's Redemption Island. Scratch that. We're gonna purge the bottom, or we're gonna purge the first week. The bottom two go into Redemption Island. Every week you pick the amount of cards that are there, and if you pick the ace, then bam, you get to replace a team. Whoever, you can pick anyone except for the winning team that week. Done deal.
Boom.
All right. Option number 2 is Challenge 42 is called Cutthroat. And this is how we're going to do Cutthroat. All right. Each week, here's 2 options here. Each team, each week, the lowest scoring team is automatically up for elimination on Wednesday night of the podcast. Then we can put up another team against them. We can do it one of 2 ways. Okay. Either the winning team that week gets to pick one of the 3 bottom teams above that person. So there's 3 teams up for elimination, and the winning team that week picks who goes up against the lowest scoring team in the elimination. That's one way to do it.
Okay.
The other way to do it is to just put the 3 lowest teams in elimination. Okay. The highest scoring team, that's where you breed the rivalry because they're picking a team. So that's a little more.
What's nice about that, and historically, because this goes along with the joke of our playoffs in our regular league, where you pick who you play, and then
it never works out
losing when they pick them.
Yep.
Like, I could just see that backfiring so hard every time.
Okay. Now here's how the elimination works. Okay. This is a play on a thing in the challenge free agents. Okay. Where there were kill cards. All right. And you would have to flip a card, and the person who flipped the card with the skull and crossbones automatically had to go into elimination. But what we're going to do for this one is we're going to pick cards. There's going to be 10 cards, and it's either going to be, the bottom 2 the 2 people going against each other, or the 3 people going against each other. And these people are going to pick cards. And if there's 3 people, there's going to be 2 safe cards. And if there's 2 people, there's going to be 1 safe card. And you're just going to continue to pick cards back and forth until someone picks the safe card. The person who picks the safe card stays in, the other person's eliminated.
Okay. I kind of like that too. Which way are you leaning with this?
I think Redemption Island's diabolical.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's the way.
But so what would you prefer for the Cutthroat theme? Would you prefer it to be the lowest team and then the winner chooses from someone in the next bottom 3? Or would you prefer just the 3 lowest teams to pick cards?
It does I do like the idea that the winner of each week gets some kind of advantage, some kind of like power, because that's like the whole nature of the challenge. Like, if you did the best, you're like the shit, and you get to like have this unrelenting power over people. Like, it's completely unfair. So I feel like we have to go with that, where they get to like just choose because they're the shit, know?
Okay, perfect. So the winning team,
even if it's just like, what, that team has a fucking guy I want, I hope they get wiped out, I'm taking it.
Yep. So the winning team gets to pick, who it is until we get down to 4 teams, and then the winning team is just safe.
Yeah.
And then the other teams have to pick cards. Is what it would end up being. So
for sure.
All right, so those are your 2 options. It's either Redemption Island or Cutthroat, and the picking of the cards. The idea is that we would use my screen, and I would lay the cards out, and we would have the 2 people that are up for elimination here on a Wednesday night flipping cards. Alternatively, if we can't have the people here, we could use a card flipping app.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So if that's the case, then in that case, it would just be a random. Like, we would just use the card flipping app, and the person who's, say we only could have one person live and the other person can't, we would just have to agree that if both people can't be there, we use the card flipping app for both persons, and then we just flip cards until,
Yeah.
So that's how we would have to do it. Because I
Yeah,
can't get.
it doesn't dilute any of the ambiguity of the entire thing, so it doesn't matter.
It does put, okay, so going back to game shows, the Beast game. This comes straight off the Beast games because they do that all the time in Beast games where you have to choose whether like the other person is lying if they have the card
Yeah.
or whatever. This is kind of that, where if you had the cards laid out in front of the two people and the two people could see which ones are there and they're like, oh man, is this person gonna pick the right card? Which card am I picking? So that's the stress of the whole thing. But that those are the two options. So I'm gonna put a poll up immediately after in the Guillotine League, and we all have until the draft to vote. The draft for the Guillotine League is going to be on, I think it's September 2nd, or is it the 1st? It's next Wednesday, which is Wednesday, September 2nd, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock. Draft orders random
in the morning,
in the evening, even at supper time. When
nice.
when pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime.
Zing. Nice, dude.
And I may have to change it because ESPN used to do this goofy thing that everything was in Eastern time. So I'm gonna have to double check to make sure that 8 p.m. isn't actually 7 o'clock. I might have to back it to 9 p.m. It's gonna be 8 p.m. our time, regardless.
Sweet.
And then
can I introduce another weird stipulation if we're just going off the rails?
Sure, just a second. And then $20 Venmo to me for all Guillotine League participants. So I'll send something out. Make sure you guys all do that. $20 to me, and then I'll pay things out as we go. And then we also need to talk about the changes in scoring for the Guillotine League. But what did you have?
So the team that gets eliminated in any given week, what if they got to, and this is after waivers process, they get to build a team with whoever's on waivers for free. And if they beat with that team the next lowest team that didn't get eliminated, they get that person's team and that person's out. Now think about this. This is going to be impossible in the first few weeks, but very possible in the last like 5 or 6 and then descending, where there's going to be some real players out on waivers. Now the team that gets eliminated is out no matter what, because we have to lose a team, right? But if the team compiled off of waivers after it processes from the team that lost the previous week, if that team beats the second lowest team, they essentially take command of the second lowest team's active roster, and that team's out.
What if we made it if that team had the highest score of the week?
That'd be impossible, but sure.
It could be complete, but that would be like the trump card. If you can bring a team on waivers and have the highest scoring team. Now I will say, if we end up having a week, if we end up having a league like we did the first year, it's entirely possible the last like 4 weeks someone's going to build a better team.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be for championship week. That would be sacred. But everything leading up to that would be possible.
Can we put this is only good for like the first 6 or 8 weeks? Can it be for only the first half of the season?
Yeah, I'd go like as far as 10, because that would still be so hard to do. I'll math it out. We'll reconvene on that. We'll decide between you and I.
Okay, but we'll reconvene on that. But I'm not against that. I think it would be.
It's a way for an eliminated team to still have something in that following week to just desperation attempt to come back.
I think it would be better if it's the trump card and you have to beat everyone. Because if your team you assemble the week you're eliminated is better than everyone's team, you should get.
You have to get back in, right?
Yeah, but you would get the lowest scoring team from that week that isn't eliminated.
Well, see, that's the problem is then you don't actually eliminate anybody because you're bringing someone back. That's why I said if it was the second lowest scoring
it would
team,
be the second lowest scoring team. Or what if Redemption Island gets picked, what if you get to replace someone in Redemption Island?
Yeah, and they get to pick? Or no, it would be whoever survived it.
It would be whoever survived Redemption Island. But then here would be and then the person who got booted out of Redemption Island would be by default the guy who gets to pick the team the next week.
Yeah, fight their way back in.
Yeah, because because there would be nobody at that point. So then they would be that team.
Yep. And they don't get to pick their players till after waivers processes. So they can't just be like, well, I'm just taking my team.
That's a good point. Yeah. And then, so then they would pick a team. They would have to submit that team in the league chat. So I could build that team.
Yep.
And they're building that. When are they building that team? That's the other problem. Because
when the waivers process last?
After 2 games have played sometimes.
So what? It has to be after all waivers have happened.
Okay, so
they
can't
be
pick
a disadvantage, but
they can't pick their team till Sunday at 10:01 or whatever it is.
Yep, they have a golden hour basically to assemble a roster.
I love that. That's
actually
even better.
Perfect.
They only got an hour to do it.
Yes. They have to wait till it all processes. This is perfect.
That's okay. I am on board with that. Let's figure that one out. All right. So how we do it is gonna depend on how which game is picked. And if it's Redemption Island, we'll just run it until Redemption Island is over. And if it's because you're just taking a team out of Redemption Island.
Yeah.
And if it's the other version, we'll just pick a week that it drops dead, that you can't do it.
Yeah.
All right, deal. I like it. That's what it's going to be. It's either going to be Cutthroat or it's going to be Redemption Island. And then we're going to throw that twist in there, which is going to keep everyone engaged for an extra week. I like it because even it's like impossible the first week. Yeah. So that team that gets
right.
The team
it's for shits, but who the hell knows, man?
Yeah.
Weirder things.
So, okay. That's going to be how it is. I think we've done it. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
No, I mean, obviously, we're not going to throw out any of our opinions on players and shit like that.
Can't do it.
We still have to draft. So that's the best we could do.
Yeah, quick. So on the Guillotine League, let's go over. We changed the league a little bit. We now have a 14-man roster. We changed the positions a little bit. There's now 1 running back position, 1 running back wide receiver position, 1 wide receiver position, 1 wide receiver tight end position, 1 flex, and 1 utility player, which basically allows you that you got to start 1 running back, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 quarterback, and then all the other positions are free for all.
Which is good because the way Guillotine works, man, like it's hard to have like a positional strength. Sometimes you just got to play the cards you're dealt.
Yep.
So I actually like that.
So that's
a lot of flexibility.
Yep, that's 1 less starter than we were doing the last year. It was 10 starters, now it's 9, and we eliminated 1 bench player. So there's only 5 on the bench. You can only have 2 defenses. You can only have 2 head coaches. I changed the head coaching scoring so that we inflate the scoring a little bit. I did some math. Robert and I actually spent a lot of time doing math. And I took statistics from last year and I basically changed it so that way the average winning team would score somewhere in the neighborhood of like 18, 19 points a week, and the average losing team would score in the neighborhood of 5 points. So it's like a 10 to 15 point swing if you picked a team that lost that week versus if you picked a team that won that week on an average. But hypothetically, you're only going to have at any times 18 teams playing for the most. So once you get down to like 10 teams left, odds are going to say the majority of the teams that we're going to be picking, or head coaches that you're going to have are going to either be in competitive games or winning. So
yeah, you're not going to see a ton of variance unless there's a major upset, which is kind of like the whole fun part about fantasy, right? Like,
correct.
It's when Josh Allen scores 0 points. Like, it's the craziest thing, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah. So like, for instance, as I went through here, I can't remember how many weeks I did, but I did a bunch of different weeks. And what was the biggest disparity? There was a game where I think like Dallas,
we don't have to explain it to him. The point is we did the math. All right. We grinded this out. We talked about it for hours. It makes sense. You're just going to have to trust us. like the government.
Yeah, perfect. Yep. Yeah, there was like a 40-35 game, and the Giants ended up scoring 15.5, and the Cowboys scored 23, for instance. And then there was also a blowout week where the Ravens beat the Browns like 40-10 or something, and the Ravens would have scored 26 points, and the Browns would have scored 2.5 points. But you wouldn't have picked the Browns if the Browns sucked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah. The variance is baked into common sense.
yeah. So that's that. We also are gonna tweak the scoring a little bit. There is positional. What do you want to call it? Positional advantages to scoring. Okay. For instance, if a quarterback throws a touchdown, it's normal scoring, right? But if a running back or wide receiver or tight end scores a touchdown, it's double points. And not scores. Sorry, throws a touchdown.
Throws
A touchdown.
Yeah.
It's double points. Okay. Same thing as if a quarterback catches a touchdown, the quarterback gets double points. So there's that kind of stuff baked in. The tight ends.
Like if a team has a quarterback wide receiver stack and the receiver throws to the quarterback, you're going to get 4 touchdowns worth of points.
It's going to be crazy.
Really special for fucking 40.
Which, by the way, we did do the statistics. There were no quarterbacks that caught touchdowns.
Right.
It's like
the safety thing. It's like it doesn't happen all that often.
And that, like, tight ends and wide receivers throwing touchdowns. I think there were 0 tight ends that threw a touchdown. That kind of stuff. Also, like, tight end rushing touchdowns are double, and there's tight end rushing yards are double. That I'm pretty positive about. Tight end rushing touchdowns are double. There was like 1 tight end rushing touchdown last year, and it was an obscure tight end. So, there's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and in this league, fucking 3 tight ends are probably ever going to be rostered anyways, considering that you don't even have to start a tight end.
So yeah, so there's these call them Easter egg scoring things where you can get double points from certain people, rushing or receiving or throwing different things. So there you have that. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I mean, we ended up recording for like 50 minutes. Who would have thought? I thought this was going to be like a 20-minute podcast.
We didn't even have to really get the drops to work. We only used like 2 of them. I think we.
Absolutely. So that there it is. Those are your 2 options. Pick from that. The League of Ordinary Gentlemen Fantasy League draft is this Sunday at 1 p.m. Be there by 12:30 at Good Times. Normal stuff. $120 in. Bring an extra 10 for the auctioneer. We'll do our
bring
thing.
an extra a lot, because if you overbid and you don't have the amount you try bidding, you're buying beers for everybody. This needs to be addressed. You guys have been slacking on this shit. You make a mistake at the auction, you don't have the money you thought you did. You make that bid, you're fucking buying beers.
Beers.
Right? That's how it works.
And then, of course, the Guillotine League draft is the 2nd at 8 p.m. That's online, and of course, we're gonna record it. We'll have the Google Meet going on, and we'll record the draft, and we'll talk about it, etc. So
much meat.
Venmo me some cash, also, everyone, and let's fucking rock and roll here. What do you think? Oh, and we need one more Guillotine League team. So if y'all know anyone, we need 1 team.
I have one that could play, but let's find a more suitable person if we can. Also, if you listen to this podcast or many other podcasts across various platforms and you don't listen to it at 1.2 times speed, I highly recommend you give it a try. On hour-plus long podcasts, it'll save you a few minutes, and after a while, you won't even notice the difference. Yeah, we use our recording stuff to cut out like pauses and stuff like that. But legit, listen to this pod or any pod at 1.2 speed, and you're welcome for that 5 minutes of your life back.
Yeah, I actually preset our podcast to 1.5 speed just to make it faster for you guys. So if you guys do 1.2, that's 1.2 of 1.5, which I don't even know what kind of math that is. Is that like 1.9? I'm not sure.
I wish you wouldn't have told them that, because if they already think this podcast is slow and boring as shit, they're like, "You're telling me in real life they were slower
They
than
were-
that?"
Yeah, so
Fuck.
my recommendation is to, when you listen to our podcast, listen to it at half speed, just so you can hear.
There you go. It'll be like you're here, stumbling through it with us.
Well, that's it for us. That's the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast. I'm Kyle. He's Rob.
Have a good night.
I mean, I thought that was a good way to bring it back.
Yeah, it's kind of a depressing sign that we didn't even try to talk about the Packers.